So, I submitted my letter of resignation for my full-time job. Hey there, friends on YouTube. My name is Jason, sometimes known as the JTL. This is Painfully Honest Tech, so honest it hurts. Thank you so much for being here, and let me just walk right into what we're going to discuss today. It's a little bit of a different video, I guess, because I'm going to be talking about myself and not tech. I hope that's okay with you. So I submitted my letter of resignation from my full-time job just late last week. This is something that I wasn't ever sure was really going to happen over the past year or so. I kind of thought that it might happen, but it's very nerve-wracking to say the least to have done so. For those of you who don't know, I have, for the past 10 years, been the director of the Writing and Humanities program at a Big Ten university somewhere in the Midwest. At the medical school attached to that university. So I've basically taught medical students creative writing, as well as run this program that does a conference every year in a literary journal and a bunch of other stuff. I have a master's in fine arts in fiction writing from the Iowa Writers Workshop, which, if you know what that is, then you know what that is. So I've been doing this for 10 years, and it's been a good job. In fact, I could stay at this job for the rest of my working life and retire and go on and do all that kind of stuff. So why have I decided to leave that job? Well, for the last year and a half, I have been working 2 full-time jobs, one at the university and the second one here doing this YouTube thing. And the more that I do this YouTube thing, the more that it takes up a lot of my time, the more that it's demanding that I do more things. And to be quite honest, this is the kind of stuff that I've always wanted to do. When I was a little kid, I started singing at the age of 3, and from the age of 3, all I ever wanted to be was a rock star. If you've been around the channel for a while, you've probably heard me tell this story. I then was in choruses and choirs and finally rock and roll bands, and moved to New York City and did the music thing for the better part of a decade. And then I came out to Iowa to do grad school. I taught at a couple of different places until I landed the job that I have now submitted my papers for. Before I get too far into this, I have to stop for a second and say thank you to some people that have helped me do this along the way. I mean, the countless number of folks on YouTube, the other YouTubers who have been fantastic friends and support and that kind of thing. That's one. But then more specifically, I have to say thank you to my wife, because she has been with me for nearly 28 years, and she has watched me go through this process of creativity and trying to make a life around creativity, and she has stuck with me for reasons unknown, but she has stuck with me and believed, I guess, in me and what I could do, and so I have to say thank you to her for never trying to make me be something else, even though it would have been a lot easier if I had just done that. And then, of course, I have to say thank you to my daughter for being my daughter and being awesome. And one particular shout out I want to have here is to my friend Roberto Blake. Some of you might know of Roberto. If you don't, Roberto is a creative entrepreneur, but he started out doing sort of tutorial videos and then helping people build their YouTube channels, and that's something that he's really helped me quite a bit with. And he's been a great resource, a great sounding board, a great friend, and I really have to say thank you to Roberto for taking the time and believing in what I'm doing on this channel and helping me out. That has meant a great deal. The most important thing I want to talk about here is I guess, the life of a creative person. It's kind of weird how I got here, and kind of weird how I'm going to continue. I mean, as I told you before, ever since a very young age, I've been a creative person, and that has been sort of the defining element of who I am. It's interesting, when my music career in my early 30s, I kind of realized that it wasn't going to be what I hoped it would be in my early 20s. It wasn't going to pay the bills. It wasn't going to, I wasn't going to be a rock star, all that kind of stuff. I went into a really down and kind of dark period where I just didn't know what would happen next, or how I was going to live the rest of my life without shooting myself in the face, just having to do something other than what I had been passionate about doing for my whole life. I ended up going back to school for a little while, taking some courses, hoping to get some kind of teaching certificate or whatever. I ended up getting the master's degree, as I said. And in doing that, I took a couple of classes, and one of them was a senior seminar. Not senior as in senior citizen, but like I was a senior in college, even though I had left college 12 years before. I had 7 credits left to do to get my degree. And so I took this senior seminar with an MFA student who, I just started writing some stuff. I ended up writing about 50 pages of what became my first novel. It's called The 14th Colony. If you're interested, I think it's linked down below, or you could go to Amazon and check it out. The 14th Colony by Jason T. Lewis. She kind of read everything and she was like, oh, wow, okay. And encouraged me to, instead of just trying to get a teaching certificate, encouraged me to apply to master's programs, which is how I ended up at Iowa. What's the importance of this particular part of the story? Well, at my lowest moment, instead of going in another direction, I ended up going back to creativity, back to being a creative person, doing the stuff that actually had put me in the position of being a failure or sad or whatever it was. I mean, I had put myself out there. Every ounce of myself I had put out there to do this music thing. It hadn't worked out. And so I was in that dark place. And in that dark place, I turned around and I came back to creativity. I started writing. And that ultimately led me to the next chapter of my life, which then led me to the next chapter of my life, which has been the past 10 years of working as a creative professional in the stable environment of a university setting, but also building this YouTube channel and continuing to do my writing, continuing to do music and all that kind of stuff. But as last year moved into this year, it was starting to become really, really clear that I couldn't keep going the way that I've been going, working the 2 full-time jobs. And the first part of this year, the first quarter of this year, was really about me looking at what I could start to build in terms of making enough money to replace my income and still have some money to spend on the channel. So over the course of the first few months of 2019, it started to look like that is something that's possible. It's not a guarantee. It's not anything else. It could fail, and I could really have screwed myself up at the precipice of 50 years old. But I don't think that's what's going to happen, because all my life I have wanted to be the person that I was, the creative person that I was, the actual person that I was. All the years of working jobs, of being this, that, the other thing, doing editing, working at a newspaper, doing all kinds of different jobs just to get by while I was trying to do something else. That's been my life since I was 15 years old. And now I'm 47. So more than 20 years, 30 years, more than 30 years have gone by. And I've always been doing something other than what I love to get my bills paid. I did love teaching. I do love teaching. And that's the closest that I've come to having a job where I was doing what I felt like I needed to do. And I was satisfied with my work-life balance. I didn't want to shoot myself in the face every day going to my job, even though I could stay at this job forever. I want to do what I do, and I want it to be the thing that I do to make my living. And I guess the message that I would hope that people would take away from this is that it's never too late. It's never too risky. There's never a time when it's like, you can never do that. I've worked my tail off, believed in myself, done the things that I felt like I needed to do. I've had successes. I've had what I deemed as failures. I've had what other people would deem as failures. But still, I always came back to creativity as the way that I moved myself forward. And so now, as I move into this next phase of my life, and I move forward into, being an old person, I just thought it was time to take the chance and believe in myself that much, to take the risk, to cut the safety net, and to just go out and do it. I have all of you who are watching this video right now, or who have watched any of the Painfully Honest Tech videos in the past, to thank for the opportunity to do this. I'm going to continue to do what I do. I'm going to continue to grow. I hope to do a lot of different things now that I have, sort of freed myself. I'm still going to be working for, part-time to help out with some things and get through some things for a little while. But suffice it to say, in the next 3 to 4 weeks, I will be free of my full-time day job commitments. So I'm going to be putting a lot back into the channel. I'm going to be putting a lot into the music channel that I started. I'm going to be trying to do more in-depth kinds of things here on Painfully Honest Tech. I'm going to try and cover some different things. I'm going to try and vary the content to a certain extent, and just see where I can take this with all of that effort pointed in that direction. Yeah. I don't really know what to say. This is what I've been working for toward whatever my whole life. And now, as much as it seems like a weird thing, like YouTube has given me the chance. You guys who are watching the video have given me the chance to take this step, to make this leap, whatever it is. And I can't tell you how scary it is. I can't tell you how exciting it is. I can't tell you how much it means to me to have this opportunity, no matter what happens. I will never go to bed someday in the late years of my life. I'll never wake up one day and just say to myself, well, I didn't do that. I took the safe route. I got myself here, but what's that worth if I didn't do what I believed in myself to do? So now I'm doing it. I'm getting like misty here. I'm sorry for that. I'm an emotional person. I guess the last thing that I want to say is that if you're in a position where you feel like there's something that you want, there's something that you believe in about yourself or about the places you want to go, don't keep yourself from it. Don't allow yourself to be encased in the protection of a daily 9-to-5 job if that's not what you want. I think so many people are out there living, as they say, quiet lives of desperation, yearning to be free. But what does free mean? It means doing your thing and seeing where it'll take you. Not many of us take those risks anymore, and I'm glad that I have the opportunity, and I hope that this will be inspiring to some of you to take that opportunity for yourselves. Just believe in yourself. Work hard. I wouldn't be here if I didn't make videos in basically every waking opportunity to make videos that I could find. I haven't really taken a day off from work, creativity, all that stuff in several years now, but it's paid off, and I believe in it. And I hope you believe in yourself, and thank you very much for watching this. Just do whatever it is that you do, and don't let anybody tell you that it's not worth doing. That's all I got to say. Until the next time, I'm out.